Hey, second grade. Today you're going to get back your spin paintings. You can tell obviously that mine is not painted. I just did it with crayons quick. You need to double check to make sure that your name is in the center because we're going to be cutting this out, and if it's not, you might accidentally cut it off. You probably have 2 or 3 of these spin paintings. I just have 1 for right now. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take one of those plates at your table. You're going to set it down on top of your spin painting, trying to line it up. And you're going to trace around it. So we get a nice circle. After I've done that, I can cut that out. After you've cut out all of your circles that you have, so you might have 2, you might end up with 3, depending on how many we made. You're going to take that circle and you're going to fold it in half. 1. I'm going to fold the other one in half. 2. Next, we're going to be making these into a butterfly. Remember that butterflies have something called symmetry, so that means that one wing is going to look exactly the same as the other. So to do this, you're going to use a paintbrush from up front, and we also have some black paint. You're going to be painting on one side of that fold. So I have this fold running down through here. You're going to be painting just on one side, and when we fold this and give it a little massage, it's going to show up on both sides. So I'm going to start off with the body. Body's got 3 parts to it. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to fold this and give it a nice little massage. So that way when I open it up, I have the other side. You'll notice that sometimes it doesn't show up super well. You're welcome to keep it like that if you want, or you can go back and you can paint over those lines because you can see where they're at now. Next, I'm going to work on the wings. The wings are kind of the tricky part. So remember we did the body. The body is 3 parts. Next, we're going to do the wing. I'm going to start with the top of the wing, and it's going to be this big diagonal all the way out to the edge of my paper. You need to get it all the way out there. Otherwise, your wings are going to be too little. Next, I'm going to do a horizontal. So first a diagonal going up, next a horizontal. This horizontal is actually going to only come out to about halfway. Like this. And last but not least, for these lines, I'm going to do a diagonal going down to the edge of my paper. Like this. To finish the outside of these wings off, I need to connect this line to this line and this line to this line. So I'm going to do kind of like this curve. And fold it. Notice I'm folding it after each line I paint. Because if it dries, it does not work. I need to do the same down here. Connecting it with a curve. So I have the general shape of my body. Remember that if you don't like this dried paint look, you can take your paintbrush and just paint over those lines. And remember that the wings were made up of those 2 diagonals and that horizontal line that only goes about halfway. All right? Notice how big it is. It should take up your entire circle. Last but not least, I need to give them an antenna and some other little details. So maybe a little antenna. And we know that those wings have some details too. So maybe you want to give it some circles or some polka dots or some lines. I would be careful not to overdo it because you can see that when we smooth this out, the paint kind of squishes and gets kind of blotchy like that. So you want to be careful that you don't do too much so that way you don't accidentally get rid of all of your nice lines. Alright, so I'm done with one butterfly. You need to do both of your butterflies, alright? So I'm done with one, gotta work on the other one real quick. Start with 3 body shapes. Remember that they need to touch that center line where the fold is. When you're done with these, they're going to both go on the drying rack on top of a messy paper. All right. So start off by cutting out your circles. Then you need to fold these in half. And then you need to begin painting. I would start with the body and then make the wings. Remember, it's a diagonal, horizontal that goes halfway, another diagonal that goes all the way to the edge of your paper. When you're done, please clean up your spot.